in New York for the climate summit. Sherri, good to have you with us. So US President Donald Trump is one of those who chose not to make a speech at the climate summit. What message does that send?
Well, the unfortunate one that at the moment the U.S. is, from the federal government, not leading on climate, but there's a lot that our states, our cities, our private sector, even our defense sector is doing, recognizing the global climate threat that we face and that is the most urgent of our time. We don't want to wait for another 9/11 or another Pearl Harbor before we act on this important crisis. It's good that there's a lot of leadership here today at the UN and around the world, and it's important that the U.S. Step up its game in this area as well.
Yeah, you see climate change as a national security issue. Is that a view that's widely shared, particularly in Washington?
It's widely recognized that climate change is a threat multiplier for instability in many regions of the world today, from the melting polar ice caps to the extensive drought to rising sea levels and more extreme weather events. And it is recognized in most quarters, and that's why it's important to show leadership, assess the risks, and really we need to move forward with a climate security plan. I am pleased that you see the beginnings of that here today at the UN, and I think you'll see more of that even from the US in the future.
Yeah, there have been a lot of climate change protests around the world, obviously, also in the US, growing calls for action. Do you think that that could influence some new thinking on policy decisions?
Well, I think it is, because what you see now is that you have both Republicans and Democrats in the United States Congress who recognize climate security threats and want to move forward with responsible action.
Sherri, thanks very much indeed for that. Sherri Goodman there in New York.